chapter question mark, the archives. So let's see what we have in the archives. Alrighty. Welcome to the archives. Bendy and the Ink Machine began when the developer cartoonist known as the Meatley experimented with bringing a sketched 2D style into a 3D world, which, frankly, I think is a cool effect. I really kind of dig the aesthetic. After turning the idea into a horror game, Chapter 1 of the game was created in a little under a week with programmer and friend Mike Mood and released on February 10th, 2017. Much to their surprise, it struck a chord with global indie gamers almost overnight. The Meatley and Mike Mood decided to drop all other projects to the work on Bendy and tell a most unique ink story. The entire game was completed a chapter at a time in a year and a half by a small but dedicated group of indie developers. Although the concept and the story remained as originally intended, the game changed over development as characters and models were redefined from their early thrown-together versions. This archive is a peek behind the scenes at that process. Okay, interesting. Let's take a look. Oh boy, that's a big old room. She's quite a gal. Owen on the ceiling too. Really? On the ceiling. Wow. Let's see here. Can I move? There we go. Really slow. All right. Can't move when you're looking straight up. Okay. Wow. We got some interesting music. And all right, so where shall we begin? There's lots of exhibits to look at here. Oh, well, we'll start with me. Henry Stein, once an equal business partner of Joey Drew, Henry Stein was a talented animator and character designer until leaving the company around 1930. His place in Joey Drew's studio history is somewhat undocumented, but he is often rumored to be the true creator behind many of the studio's most memorable characters. And they have a card, and then we have a pedestal, but we don't have a thing. So if you stand here, something magical happens. No spoilers. Okay, danger, keep out. I would be tickled pink if there was a way to open this and there was more content behind that door, but I'm betting there's not. Well, maybe the developers in the future will add a little something? That would be kind of cool. All right, concept for Bendy. So I guess this is how Bendy started off as. Jeez. Okay, interesting. Still with the Pac-Man eyes. All right, concept Bendy. This was the first version of Bendy ever modeled. In the earliest concepts, Bendy was much smaller and cuter, with a face that split open to reveal a terrifying mouth. Yeah, that would be kind of creepy. Oh boy. Let's see here. Alpha Bendy. Oh, he's inky. Oh boy. This is the original game-used design of Ink Bendy from the earliest versions of Chapter 1. It is jokingly referred to as bird poop with a smile among the development team. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And there's even little skulls in the wallpaper. Yeah. Let's see here. Beta Bendy. This was Ink Bendy's form until the release of Chapter 4. At that time, the game received a major visual upgrade, and the title character got a new model as well. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, the big SWAT hand. Yeah, the big SWAT hand from the Waterborne chapter. Interesting. Ink Bendy. Oh, jeez. Ink Bendy as we know him today. Although similar to Beta Bendy, this upgraded version was remodeled, enhanced with a higher polygon count, and given new ink effects. Oh, ink effects. He's drippy. He's so drippy. Okay. Whoa, and then Beast Bendy. Oh, my goodness. Ink Bendy's horrific final form in Chapter 5 pulled away from the cartoon facade and revealed the demon within. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Ah, that's kind of creepy. Sammy Lawrence back there. Oh. You know, I'm kind of wondering if, like, Sammy Lawrence and oh, God, what was the guy that Boris turned into? The recordings kind of hint that these were real people that got inked and turned into characters, and how they dealt with their transformation. I bet you there's more story, there's more backstory to all that stuff. I'd be interested if it was like written out somewhere that was a little more fleshed out. That would be interesting. So, Searcher. Okay. Beta Searcher. Early in development, with just a few weeks to create Chapter 2, the Beta Searchers were designed in record time before being fully retooled later on. They were the first fighting enemies encountered in the game. Oh, those little puddles that jump up at you. You know, it's kind of interesting the way they did this game. They released a chapter at a time separately over, what, like a year and a half? So I guess it gave them more time to develop, to make these changes over time. I mean, look at how many Bendys are there, you know? It's an interesting, development method. You know, you start small, you give the first part, and then release something later on. I guess it's the difference between, like, if you wanted to, watch a TV show on a streaming service, you can, like, watch the entire season and burn through it in a weekend, or they only release a video each week, so you have to take months to watch the whole show. Yeah. I don't know. Doing the ration style, that's different to video games. I'm used to having everything all at once, and major expansions add things. But with this, it was almost like a serial. You had to keep coming back from. It's interesting. Final Searcher. The Final Searchers were far from robust in appearance. They were smoother, with better ink effects, and more human in appearance. Jeez. So were these people? Or were they just ink that didn't have a quote-unquote soul? God, these things are terrifying even outside of the game. Beta Sammy. With his first appearance in Chapter 2, fan favorite Sammy Lawrence became a terrifyingly entertaining character. When his slim build was deemed not threatening enough, he was resigned and given a better skeletal rig for more advanced animation. I must say, when you just saw him up in the grandstand in Chapter 2, and he's just looking around, and you're like, well, is that guy gonna come kill me? Well, he can't, he's up there, but he seems kind of just chilling too. Friend or, I don't know. It's creepy stuff. Final Sammy. Sammy Lawrence's final form came complete with a bulked-up stature and more powerful limbs. The mad songwriter may finally get noticed now, at least by his fans. All right, so he was the songwriter for all the music. Interesting. Oh, these poor... Oh, I feel bad for these characters. The goo people. That's just... So there's no card? There's no card. All right, well, I'm just going to have to make stuff up now. Now why is he in a little shell and all the other ones just kind of out in the air? That's weird. All right. And we have the angels. Do I have a... No. Oh, man. That's just wrong on so many levels, but... We got the angels. And we got Boris. Hey, Boris. Or is that... No, that's the... He's got the robot arm, so that's... I want to say Tim or Tommy, or I can't remember the guy's name. But, so that's the later chapter, the one that's paired up with the good angel, or the good demon, or the good Alice. Oh, geez. Oh, poor Boris. Let's see. Betaboris. Papa was the original name for the character that eventually became Boris the Wolf. This early version was released with Chapter 1. He was quickly refined into Boris. He was quickly refined into the Boris we know today with the release of Chapter 2. Okay. Boris the Wolf. Boris the Wolf, a friend to the end, was designed using various references from cartoons of the 1920s. A blend of West Coast and East Coast animation styles, this silent and supportive wolf won over the hearts of many, although at times he was a headache for the development team due to his AI taking on a mind of its own during the production. That's kind of creepy with a video game about characters getting a mind of their own. Oh, Brute Boris. Alice Angel's monstrosity, Brute Boris, was one of the biggest surprises of Chapter 4. His design was roughly based on the Frankenstein monster, but with a more unfinished appearance. Alice took parts from within him and substituted things that his body rapidly rejecting. Why has he got a steering wheel stuck in his head? And these little plants growing out of what I believe is the soup bowls, they never really discussed why these little plants are growing up out of everything. Maybe there was something in the soup? Bacon soup? Maybe that's what jacked people? I don't know. All right, center stuff. The original ink machine. Before a major visual upgrade, this version of the ink machine was the one used in the game. Much of this machine's iconic fan-loved design was translated into the final version. Let's take a look at this. Oh boy, that kind of does look like from Chapter 1, that first thing that gets yanked up out of the... whatever. That's where the ink is, right there. That's the ink. Yeah, I don't know. It looks kind of small, but yeah, moving right along. Let's just shining lights and more plants that are growing out of soup. There's the head from the Colossus, the guy that was trying to build a park, and these creepers. God, the Butcher Gang. The Piper, Striker, and Fisher made up the dreaded Butcher Gang. Interestingly, the ink-corrupted versions of the characters were designed first and then were reverse-engineered back into their more family-friendly cartoon forms. And that's funny. Because... damn! Yeah, that's hard. Well, I mean, that's Bendy. That's all there is to it. That's Bendy. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a good game. I don't see how they could come up with I mean, it kind of told its story and ended. So I'm not really sure how you could have a chapter 6. I mean, that they'd kind of have to shoehorn some stuff in there to, I don't know. But, oh my God. Etched into my nightmares for all eternity.